Hi, good morning. This is the Bitcoin Morning Brief, and we have Jimmy and Tone streaming straight from Concensus. Jimmy, Tone?
Hey guys, how are you?
We
We found the only respectable place to stream at this conference. We got ourselves right in the middle of the block stream room.
All right, well, let's dive into it so you guys can start going to the panel discussions and also have Jimmy speak. Here we go. All right, so BitGo courts Wall Street with new Bitcoin custody products. So BitGo unveils a new suite of custodial services that are aimed at institutional investors. Background, BitGo is a startup in Silicon Valley who's raised more than 54 mil and is a Bitcoin security platform. Multi-sig technology is specifically what they say. So, Tone, BitGo is saying that they're coming out with 3 levels of custodianship. What do you think about the launch of this new service offering?
I mean, BitGo somewhat knows what they're doing. I mean, BitGo was the one that had that issue with BitPay, was it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in general, BitGo seems to know what they're doing fairly well. I mean, they're designing these custodianship models of Bitcoin, while I am against the idea of holding other people's Bitcoins on their behalf. In general, in this case, if there is a company that's going to do it, BitGo is probably one of the few that's going to get it right.
Interesting. Jimmy, in response to his, but also BitGo currently provides custody solutions to over 20 cryptos with the intent to increase that number this year. So a response to Tones, but also what do you think about this multi-asset upgrade?
Well, so they've been doing this for a long time, and this is their sort of bread and butter. I know for a fact that they take up a significant amount of the blockchain as well. So, I mean, they're very good at what they do. They provide sort of multi-sig and a lot of things of that nature. And it's not a surprise that you're seeing a lot of these types of press releases right around Consensus. This may be more or less what the Consensus pump is. It's a pump on PR articles and things of that nature. So there's a lot of these stories that are coming out. Wouldn't be surprised if if there's a lot more coming in the next couple of days. We know that happens because a lot of these companies are also presenting. So they seem to have a new product. I haven't looked into it that much, but Benedict Chan is here. Maybe we could talk to him. He's the new CTO of BitGo, and maybe we can talk about that.
That's a good point. Jameson Lop's no longer there, so we'll see which direction they're gonna head. But and was Ben Davenport there?
Yeah, Ben Davenport's no longer there.
He's also no longer there. Okay, so I would be a little skeptical of BitGo going forward. I forgot about those two things, and I think they're gonna go with shitcoin land. So right now they're offering 20. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 200 by end of next year. Or this year. Yep. Hopefully there won't be 200 by end of next year.
Geez, well, I think the great thing about you guys at Consensus is stealth mode or not stealth mode, because we know Tone for sure, is you'll get the inside scoop on probably all the stories that we're going to see this week. And also just, one last ending for everybody, right? Okay, from my opinion, one of the biggest problems is custody and bugs and many users, right? That not just me, I think that no one's really done it right. And I'm hoping like you guys that maybe they can do it. And as an FYI, just like a custodian holds assets for an individual, corporation, government. Fort Knox is the custodian of gold for the United States government. So I'm hoping that, for once someone is saying here, we're going to solve the problem of holding your Bitcoin or Litecoin or whatever it may be right now, and that it doesn't get stolen or lost. And if it does, then we'll cover and make good on it. And we have insurance to make sure it doesn't really happen. So I hope that this works. So we shall see. And you guys will get the inside scoop. So IoT startup Filament hits milestone for blockchain hardware. Filament, a startup that focuses on IoT solutions, announced Monday, today, that it has successfully created a USB compatible form factor for its blockchain semiconductor. That is straight from the article. Jimmy, I'm excited to know one about this article announcement, and also if you could explain this quote that I've highlighted in the article by the CEO. She said that, quote, the move is similar to announcements made by IBM and Microsoft. By contrast, our devices can hold up to 16 keys. So you can have 16 blockchain implementations simultaneously. So, can you explain this and its importance?
Yeah, I'm not entirely clear on what their device is, but if it's some sort of like a hardware wallet, more or less, that would be a welcome entry into this entire sphere. Or it could be just like nothing, and like it's all BS or whatever. It's really hard to tell by a press release, right? Because there's very little actual signal, and it could be actual signal or it could be a lot of noise. And like I said before, there's a lot of companies putting out press releases this week, especially today. So it's hard to tell whether or not this is a fluff piece or actually something that's worth watching. We'll be looking forward to sort of more of their product demos and things of that nature during this week, and we can maybe I can ask them questions if I can go by their booth or something like that.
Absolutely. Tone, what do you think?
This is a little bit beyond my technical expertise. I'm not exactly sure what this is. I'm going to skip this one, and hopefully we'll get back to it when they have to put out another press release, and we'll have more information on what this was.
Sounds good. Okay. On to the next is first Bitcoin smart contract sidechain, now secured by 1 in 10 miners. So it's saying that today at Concensus, so we'll see what you guys think tomorrow, RSK Labs is going to reveal their new tech, which they explain as a way to bring Ethereum-style smart contracts to Bitcoin. So, Jimmy, I'm going to throw this back to you again. If you can shed some light on the story, and if I can ask a second one as well. My question that I got confused about reading this story is that it seems that the miners are only mining Bitcoin, yet they're also being paid additionally from the side chain. So where does that additional come from?
Yeah, so the idea of RSK is that you can do a smart contract on a side chain. And the way it works, at least I spoke to actually an RSK engineer yesterday, and I asked them all sorts of questions about this. The way it works is that it's a federated sidechain. So you put money into a multi-sig, and that you could do all sorts of things on the sidechain, and then you could bring it back out using some sort of like a very interesting way. They can eventually use drive chains if that ever comes to pass. If it's something else, there are other ways you can get it out as well. But they're very flexible with that. The thing about the miner thing, which I didn't really understand until I talked to the engineer yesterday, is that if you know how a mining pool works, the way it works is that the mining pool needs to determine how to pay out all of their members, and the way they do that is they take something called the lower proof of work, and these are called shares, and they're more or less just used to determine how much to pay out to each person. The way RSK is working is that in order to do something with a smart contract, you take one of these shares and then you pay the miner sort of by providing that share, get some amount of money for the smart contract execution on the sidechain. I'm not entirely clear on the details, but it's a very clever way to do it because for the most part, these shares are just thrown away. But they're actually useful proof of work and require a certain amount of electricity in order to produce. So there's some work there that's actually being reutilized instead of utilized. Just sort of thrown away. So kind of clever. We'll see exactly what they have. It's easy enough to talk a good game. I always sort of wait until there's a product demo or actual software that I can look at in the open source repo to actually do a lot of this stuff.
Absolutely. Tone, a response? What do you think?
Sure. Well, don't they have to do a soft fork in order to get this done?
Well, so for the drive chains part, yeah, they would have to do a soft fork, but there are other mechanisms that they have in place that require no soft fork in order to do.
Okay, so we will see, right? But again, I'm going to circle back to even Rootstock is not ICOing. They're not creating a token. So at least they're not scamming, right? So at this point, there's two things. There's the technological thing that they need to be able to pull this off, without it having too many bugs. If they can pull it off without a soft fork, they'll probably get this thing up and rolling. If they're gonna need drive chains with a soft fork, I don't see that happening. I don't see a drive chain so forth passing the consensus mechanism. It's possible, but I don't see it. The bigger issue for me is Rootstock has to convince me that there is a need for decentralized smart contracts, and I have not yet seen one other than very, very notorious things.
Yeah, and this is actually decentralized because it's pegged off of Bitcoin. So
Well,
I like that.
Right.
Unlike
is there a
Ethereum, which is completely
Is there a
centralized.
need for decentralized smart contracts? Is there a need to move all of these
Yeah.
ICOs onto the Bitcoin blockchain? And I don't think there is.
I don't think so either. So, but we'll see. We'll see. They might actually have some use cases, but we'll see.
Okay, yeah, and actually a personal one last follow-up, Jimmy, is again, it seems as if, right, they are putting together both Ethereum and Bitcoin, and it's just, I guess, I don't know. I guess maybe the question is, do you think it's going to be good for Bitcoin, help or hurt in the long run?
So we don't know the security properties of their contract language. If it's Solidity, then I'd be a little bit skeptical at the very least. So is it actually going to be secure? I don't know, but it's a side chain. So the nice thing is anyone that's going into it, they're doing it completely voluntarily. They're calling it sort of like smart Bitcoin, which is awesome. Like just kind of a cool name. We'll see if it actually is smart or if it's actually like more vulnerable. It is, I think, Turing complete. So I don't know. We'll have to watch.
All right, fantastic. And this one is going to end up going right back to you, Jimmy. We have your story. Viewers, please excuse me for being a bit obnoxious right now, but I absolutely love Jimmy's speech and wish I could be there right now to be a shill. I think it's thorough, easy to understand. I was telling Jimmy this morning, it answered almost all the questions I had when I originally tried to understand the space. And but Jimmy's much more loquacious than any time that I try to make these points when I talk to people. So Jimmy, can you tell us a bit about the piece, and then I'm hoping a more thorough explanation later.
Yeah, sure. So the original title of the piece was "No Blockchain Will Not Solve All Your Problems," but I changed it around a little bit to make it a little more like Google search friendly and stuff like that. Basically, it's all about why running a blockchain is actually really, really difficult and expensive and hard to maintain and all that stuff. And I go through all of the reasons and why you would want a blockchain in the first place. The real reason that you would want a blockchain is so that it's decentralized. And yet at the same time, a lot of these companies that are trying to implement blockchains want to retain the control, and that makes zero sense. And that's more or less what I'm pointing out in this article. There can be use cases for blockchain, but it needs to not change very much. It needs to be very decentralized. It can't have any central points of control because then you're throwing away most of the utility of it. And there's a lot of like little cartoons in there. You should take a look at a lot of these. It's always a lot of fun to sprinkle it with those. And I made an analogy to Java and XML near the end. I talk about how it's very much like that. It's a lot of executives that are trying to sort of force the word blockchain into down their engineers' throats, and that's generally not a good idea. You're really getting they're thinking they're getting the best of both worlds, which is like decentralization, immutability, audit trail, all that stuff, plus like control. But what they're actually getting is the worst of both worlds, which is all of the expenses and cost of a blockchain and all of the failure modes of a centralized thing. So it's absolutely does not make sense for most applications.
Thank you, Jimmy. Tone, what was your favorite part of Jimmy's article?
I didn't
This is
have
my
a favorite
cartoon, by the way.
Yeah, no, that was definitely my favorite. No, my favorite cartoon was the guy swinging the chain with the block. No, the whole article was great. I was reading it on the subway coming up to Concensus. It was absolutely perfect, and everyone should read this article. And it's crazy how the majority of the people just don't understand or comprehend what a blockchain is, and it continues to be very frustrating. Like I honestly, I just finally yesterday finished listening to you debating Adam Draper, and
Tim
it was
Draper.
Tim Draper.
Tim
Sorry.
Draper.
And it was like one of the most frustrating 1 hour of my life listening to that. It was very, very, bad. It's almost like, again, like I don't want to pick on people, but it's almost like listening to like arguing with Warren Buffett in the late 90s about the internet itself. It's almost like that, only in reverse. I don't really know how to describe it, and it's a very frustrating experience for someone like Jimmy because Tim Draper is more accomplished than you over his lifetime because of what he's done. And
well, I mean, part of it is that he grew up in a rich family and stuff, so he had money growing up, and
that's
he,
true
he
as
got
well.
into that like through his father or whatever. But
That's true as well. But like again, he's much older. He's been through all of these places, and he's talking about how he missed out and the reasons why, and he was there for Yahoo and Google, and he was there throughout the whole internet as an investor, and somehow like he doesn't see why or how the blockchain is different than companies built on the internet.
Yeah.
And it has to be frustrating to no end from a technology perspective, trying to explain it to him, and all he's doing is laughing in your face.
Well, I mean, I don't know. The guy's been defending Theranos forever, and he still seems to think that that's not a scam, where it's a complete scam.
I've never even heard of it. What is it?
Theranos. It's a complete disaster. He's the main enabler of Theranos and how much they raised and how much they spent.
I've never heard of it, so
you would love it. It's the scam equivalent on the real world. So you should definitely look into it. So I don't know. To me, his stubbornness and lack of understanding of what's going on.
What are you guys talking about?
We're talking about Tim Draper a little bit.
Did
And
you
Theranos.
listen to that?
No.
Him debating Tim Draper on what a blockchain is?
Yeah, that was interesting. He didn't seem to understand a lot of what I was talking
we
about.
got Samson Mao with us, but you're in the little corner there, not on the big screen yet.
Yeah.
We can go to the big screen. We're kind of done with the articles, right?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Now we got Samson. Say hi, Samson.
Say hi, Samson.
Hello.
Hey, Samson.
Hello, viewers.
When am I going to be on your Crypto Friends show, man? I really want to be a cow.
I don't know. I have to negotiate with the other guys. we have a full consensus, 4 of 4.
Yeah, wait, what animal am I going to be?
Bald eagle.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy. That's great.
Ouch.
Sorry, man. I couldn't help it.
That was good. That was good.
All right, gentlemen. Jimmy, do you have any last response to what Tone was saying? We have a little bit of time, and I love this piece.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm glad that this is getting out there. Hopefully, you guys can all read it and tell people about it. I know it's kind of getting lost in the noise of all of the consensus tweets and how much of a disaster the registration line is. It's literally like snaking like all the way through the lobby on the first floor. It's actually on the second floor. It's like it's been kind of a crazy morning, and there's 8,500 people here apparently.
Yeah, they've got to start allowing people to register the night before.
They did, but even there it was like crazy, and there wasn't a speaker line, so I had to like go through and like stand there and stuff, and I had like a pile of books with me, and yeah, it's kind of a crazy situation. So sorry about that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, we're gonna talk about Ugly Old Goats articles in the next show. He just wrote an amazing article about the Bitcoin standard. I strongly recommend. I don't know if you.
Yeah, those are the books I carried with me.
Right.
I have like 20 copies.
Ugly Old Goats article about that book.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to take a look, definitely.
Yeah. Any other announcements, Leah?
I think we're good. I love the piece as well. Jimmy, you want to go quickly on mempool?
Yeah, sure. Can you share your screen?
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's my favorite cartoon.
That was mine too.
Yeah.
All right, so normal 8 a.m. burst, that happens. I don't know what US-based company is doing that, but they keep releasing a ton of transactions right around the morning time. Again, if you're willing to wait a day, you can definitely get it in for 1 Satoshi per byte. But if you need it in the next block, you're probably going to have to pay around 30. if you're willing to wait a little bit though, I would definitely go for 1 Satoshi per byte. Don't pay any more than you need to, and let the fee market develop. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's especially a lot of transactions due to consensus or anything like that.
Thanks, Jimmy. Also, Jimmy, people want to know, when are you going to be speaking? And Tone, I want to know, what sort of mischief are you going to be getting in today as well?
We're gonna find. We're all gonna find out and all be surprised together, because I just got here. The first thing I did was find the Blockstream office and start streaming.
Yeah, so I'm speaking at 4:30 on a panel with Amber Baldet and Joe Lubin. So yeah, I'm wearing my black hat. So look forward to
floor?
It's in the main stage. So I think it's on this floor actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the main stage. It's one of the last keynotes. We only have like 20 minutes. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to say.
I heard Rubini let Joe Lubin have it. I read something.
Yeah.
Or is that in your article?
No, it's not in my article, but
it's an ugly old.
It's an ugly old goats article.
Well, so I heard that Daily Show guy gave Joe Lubin the business like yesterday at Ethereal as well, but I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm gonna give my own take on that sort of stuff. I'm also gonna be on Cheddar at around 2:30. I was just on the CoinDesk live stream as well. But yeah, I look for interviews all through the day, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll walk around where they're interviewing people, see who wants to grab me.
Yeah, so unfortunately I have to get going, but it was good being here,
right,
Tone.
Yeah, Jimmy's got
Thanks for being a good sport.
Yeah, like hey, feel free to tell Whale Panda or Fluffy Pony to take your spot.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. All right, thank you.
Bye, Jimmy. Oh my God, Tone, you're gonna cause a lot of drama today, aren't you?
Oh, I'm gonna try. I'll certainly do my best. My goal is never to be invited back.
Oh my gosh. Throw up your TA and I promise not to get you in trouble.
No. All right, let's do the TA. All right, so here's the weekly chart. We are having a little bit of a bounce this morning. It is possible that, Consensus and all this hype is having, a very, very minor effect on the scale of like intraday. Maybe it'll last into tomorrow, but the conference itself has absolutely no bearing on the long-term trend of Bitcoin. So for whatever reason we've bounced, I didn't really expect that. I kind of, like when I woke up this morning, the price was like 8,300. That's about where I expected it to be this morning when I woke up. But by the afternoon, it's now 12:15 on the East Coast. I expected it to be a little bit lower than that, but we seem to have bounced up. But I also wasn't looking at the price. So the weekly chart remains the same. I'm not going to talk in detail about this. Check out the last several videos where I compare the current environment to the environment of 2014. We're just going to zoom into the lower level time frames. So this candle in the last 12 hours has been extremely volatile. We had fallen as low as 82.70, touching the 50-day moving average. We have now, I'll take a look at the lower level time frame, see how long it took us to bounce off of this 50-day moving average and onto, back to this line. And like I said, I'm not really expecting this line to break. Tomorrow's candle is going to be a 9 candle, but only if we are trading below 84.15. So we need to go below 84.15 to get a 9. Otherwise, we flip color to a green 1. A flip color to a green 1 says you should not have any trade on and wait and see what develops. See if there's going to be follow through. So if there is going to be follow through on the following day, we'll work with that. But this is going to be a volatile day. It's not only the people at Consensus. I'm sure there's a live stream and people are watching Consensus, looking at new projects, and they're going to be trading accordingly. It doesn't mean prices go up. It just means that there will probably be some extra volatility going on a day like today and tomorrow when all of these events are being streamed. Let's go to a lower level time frame. This is the 12 hour, so you can see that we bounced back literally in the last 12 hours. Once again, we pierced this red line, but we're not able to close below it. The day is not over yet, guys. We have just moved about $500 in the last 12 hours. We gained 500 in the last 12 hours. We can gain another 500 in the next 12 hours. We can also lose this entire 500 in the current 12 hours. To me, this entire the daily chart is now on a no trade because whatever short position there was should have already been stopped out, and now you're waiting for the 9. The 12 hour is price flipping, so back for the third candle in a row. So once again, there's absolutely no trade on the table. The weekly chart has just price flip, giving you a red 1 after a green count. Again, telling you that there's no trade. So my weekly, my daily, my 12 hour are all on a no trade. Now the daily and the 12 and the weekly still lean bearish based on a bigger macro scale, whether fundamental or technical. Here is the 4-hour chart. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in. I don't have my counts on here. Now the 12-hour chart bounced pretty strong. Once again, it's the same red line. I was looking for yes, it pierced it, but it couldn't hold it. So even if you did take on a short trade, expecting it to close below the red line and accelerate, you would have already been stopped out of that trade. I need to see a close below this red line and then a lower low after that close. There was a big bounce this morning. Again, and this all took place in 4 hours. It can all be lost or it can double again. I have no idea. This is, once again, a no trade area. However, I'm going to add another line here. I really should add 2 lines, but one of these lines is going to be right here. And the other line is slightly higher over here. Both of these lines are relevant. Both of these lines are relevant. So the 4-hour chart can bounce back to this area. I guess the current area is relevant as well because of the slope. All of this is overhead horizontal resistance. Until it clears this, I have absolutely no intention of considering any bullish positions. Let's go. I can take a look at the Chenkin money flow and see if there was divergence. So there was a little bit of a divergence. If you look at this blue CMF, you see how we made pretty much an equal low, but the CMF and the OBV were trending upwards. That's a sign of divergence. So same thing with the RSI, same thing with the MACD. So using the 4-hour chart, and it wasn't a perfect double bottom. This was a little bit higher, but you can see how all of your momentum indicators were trending to the upside. So it does make sense that it bounced based on that. Obviously, if I had done a video 7-8 hours ago, I would have mentioned it. Though then again, when we did the video last night, that was close to 8. I got to see when this started. I would have had to have done a video about no, that wasn't 7-8. We did a video like over 12 hours ago. If I did this video, about 6 to 7 hours ago, I would have mentioned this divergence forming with the double bottom, but at the same time, momentum reversing. So let's see how long that lasts. I really want to see the 1-hour chart. Right, so this entire move took place in 2 hours. 2 hours from low to high in 2 hours. And look, the sequential 13 timed a bottom at 5 a.m. UTC time, timed the bottom perfectly. So around midnight New York time, like I guess 11 p.m. New York time or something. And this was just a big bounce. We're almost above the clouds, which would be good. The hourly is at a 409, so I'm not really expecting it. So there's a big resistance cluster on the hourly chart right in this area here. That's a big resistance cluster, right? It's your moving average and the setup trend line. So watch out for this area as a level of resistance. That's pretty much all I have to say. Jimmy's going to speak around 4 o'clock. My new website is up. Here's the affiliates page, and also my workshop page. On the my workshop page is here. Tonebase.com. Workshops. I haven't had time to look into what's happening with the pictures. I'll get there. And that's about it for me. And I'm gonna stop screen share. I was gonna try and get whale panda or fluffy pony, but I do not yet see that.
Well, get them during the day. Last question: how was it with Max and Stacy last night?
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. I think they'll be around Concensus somewhere today, but I haven't seen them yet. I did see Whale Panda already. I saw Fluffy already. I saw them back already. They're all in this area, and I'm gonna try to spend as much time in this room as possible, because otherwise I'm gonna go completely insane with all the ICO stuff that's going on out there.
All right, sounds good. You have a couple viewers who say you should wear a GoPro so that when you get kicked out, we can all see it happening.
I know I should. Next year, I'm going to set up like a GoPro, and I'm just going to try to live stream off a GoPro for like 6 hours straight. I got to come up with something. I don't know why Google Glasses ended their, project, but I got to come up with something. So I'm just walking around and just recording all my conversations all day. It'll be like a reality show.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, Tone, have fun. Everybody have a great day. And I don't know.
What?
Yeah.
I know you're going to have to get going, but let me see if I can simply just grab Whale Panda over here because I see him, and we'll go from there. But I know you have to go, Leah.
I'm kind of curious. I have like 5 minutes. Go grab him.
All right, let me see. All right, keep our people entertained.
Oh, geez. I don't know if I can do that, but yeah, go grab him.
Yeah, you can answer the questions you made me answer yesterday.
I'll think about it.
I'll be right back.
All right, go grab him. Everybody, send me some questions. This will be fun. I'll see what I can do. But anyways, yeah, maybe I'll leave Tone here in a second. But I do hope everybody's having a great day. Are you guys at Concensus? Hello, the anarchy. Yes, I'm not at Concensus because I cannot walk yet, but hopefully I can. Do I work for a 3-letter agency? I absolutely do not, because I wouldn't get in way too much trouble on this show. There we go. That's the worst part of being a girl. Whale Panda.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's great.
Oh, they changed it up.
It's a lot of fun.
What's your thoughts so far this morning?
Are you familiar with Liam Wall?
What, can you repeat, please?
What's your favorite thing that you've seen this morning so far?
My favorite thing I've seen. Well, the Lambos outside was pretty funny. So to start off, they had like 3 Lambos outside, and they had like the fake protester of bankers against Bitcoin. It was pretty funny. It was very chill. Other than that, it's mostly 99% scammers, and 90% of projects I never even heard of.
Are you gonna get kicked out today like Tone is? Tone for 100%. I don't know if. What about your agenda?
I don't actually. For today, I don't really have any plans. I'm actually.
Most people don't recognize you, or they do now. You guys have the podcast.
Yeah. So, but actually, not at this conference. This conference is like.
Oh yeah, no one here. Most people here will not even recognize me.
No, they don't know anything about Bitcoin. They're just here because their employer sent them here to learn about blockchain stuff. So yeah.
All right, one last question, then I gotta go. Whale Panda. Why? Why the name? What is a whale panda?
Well, the panda is from Panda coin. You know, you had back in 2014, you had like 3 different Panda coins.
Okay.
And I had a lot of Panda coins. So and Panda is always fun. So Ricardo from Monero.
Hi, Ricardo. All right, gentlemen. Have fun.
Ricardo can't hear you. You gotta go.
Have fun, and please get in as much trouble as possible.
All right, we'll do.
Bye,
Leah.
gentlemen.
Bye.
You guys stay though. Well, just one of you. All right. So Leah's here. Leah has to go. We don't need these anymore because we don't have anyone on the other end. So Fluffy,
What's up?
how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
What's new?
Visiting all the suits.
What's the latest status with Monero?
Same old, same old. We're pushing ahead.
Still a scam?
Still a scam.
Excellent.
Almost on Ledger though, so at least you can store your scam coin securely.
Almost on Ledger.
Yeah.
Okay. The Trezor? No?
No, not yet.
Okay. Ledger's the only one. Did
Yeah.
you guys ever get yourself on Jack's wallet?
No.
No, not on Jack's wallet.
No.
Okay.
No, it's too hard to add Monero.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I bought some Monero, and then I asked him, how do I store it securely? He said like, oh, you go to what was it, Monero address, and you have to cold storage. It's like with private keys, private keys, public keys, the view key. It's way too complicated.
No, it is. So that's why I say don't buy Monero because it's too complicated.
Yeah.
Only super intelligent scammers buy Monero.
Are you speaking at this conference this year as well, or no?
No, I'm not as special as well, Panda.
You're speaking at this conference.
I am speaking at this conference.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You don't like.
I have my own way.
That's cool. I know one of these days I'm gonna find a way to speak at this conference.
One day.
One day.
Well, actually, for me, it's tomorrow at 2:20. It's about social media in a decentralized world or something like that.
Okay.
I don't even know what that means. It's about trolls and Twitter and Telegram and yeah.
Who else is on the panel with you? That seems like something I would be decent at.
Niraj from Concensus.
Okay, he has a YouTube channel?
No, he does a lot of memes and gifs.
Okay.
And Meltem.
Demers.
Yeah.
Okay.
They needed a woman on the panel.
Yeah,
right.
obviously.
So let me get this straight. So for their decentralized media in crypto, they pick people that work for high-profile companies and get a paycheck.
Well, I don't get a paycheck.
No, you don't. But your other two people on the panel are.
Yeah.
Actually, Meltem doesn't work for.
She's gone on her own now.
Yeah.
Oh, she doesn't work for Barry Silbert anymore?
No.
Oh, what does she do now?
I think she has like Athena Capital. I think she has her own fund now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but she still works for a corporation.
Her own fund.
Oh, it's her own fund.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And actually, the moderator is William Moogie.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Moogly is the moderator.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Please call him Moogly.
I'm too nice for that.
Dude, like you belong on that panel. I don't know about the others. I'm sorry. Nor the moderator.
I cannot say anything about the moderator before we have the panel tomorrow.
No, let's not get you kicked off the panel before it starts. All right, cool. How long are you guys in New York?
End of the week.
Yeah, Thursday.
End of the week?
Yeah.
All right. What are you looking forward to? Hey, what are you looking forward to seeing?
Or hearing.
What are you looking forward to doing here besides drinking wine
Yeah, I'm just here to drink and hang out with my friends. I'm literally,
or eating?
Yeah, I am literally not going to anything except for your panel.
And
Jimmy Song tonight.
Right, Jimmy Song.
Jimmy Song at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
but tomorrow we have our show.
Yeah. We got a Magical Crypto Friends live broadcast in the Blockstream room at 5 p.m.
5:30.
Is Charlie going to be here?
Yeah, I mean, given that Samson's going to run late, you can probably pitch up at 6.
Charlie's here somewhere.
Charlie's around.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, cool.
Thanks, son.
All right. I'll see you guys around. If not, we're all going to be at the Blockstream.
Yeah, of
Tomorrow
course.
night, Dragon Energy.
It's called Dragon Energy.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm going to the Monero party before that, and then I'll be there.
Are you going to announce something big this time like last time?
Look, I played that game, guys. Come on. Not again. Not again.
You told me ahead of time I was able to short, make a lot of money, right? You know that, right?
Really? Yeah. Congratulations. All right.
Okay.
All right, guys. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining, and thanks, guys. Thanks for being on the Bitcoin Morning Brief, and we'll see you all maybe later today. It depends. I'm gonna try and stream again, but I also want to enjoy and talk to some of the people. I gotta find a way to wear a GoPro and just record my entire day of trying to explain blockchain to people. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Next year, that's the plan for next year.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, man.
Thanks for having
Good
me.
seeing you. That was Whale Panda and Fluffy Pony of Monero. And I think I'm going to call it. And we'll try to get you guys more content later. All right. And yeah, see you all later today or tomorrow. Bye, guys.